I grew up in a really rural area called Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And so I've always kind of loved plants. Like my mom was a gardener and my grandma was a gardener, and we would go on hikes a lot. So nature was always something that was important to me. As a child, I learned the names of birds from an early age and different plants and different flowers. As I got older, I ended up going to school in Philadelphia. And so at that point I was, in a much more urban environment. And so I kind of just forgot about plants a little bit. I've always loved art. I always really liked finger painting when I was a kid. And I went to art school, Tyler School of Art, and I got my degree in printmaking. I was always kind of drawn to just creating and making things to express how I felt and how I saw the world. For me, it is very therapeutic. I process so much of my emotions and experiences through painting. Depression was something that always kind of lingered on the edges for me. So it was never really, really devastating, but it was bad enough. And I had just lost my job, and I had had what I thought was a secure housing situation that was kind of falling apart, and friendships that were kind of falling apart. So my kind of way of surviving, I guess, was to just start walking. So I would leave my house and I would just start walking. And there's kind of some woods near where I lived at the time and where I live now. And so I would walk into the woods, and I had this kind of idea, and I'd be like, oh, maybe I'll go back and look at plants like I used to when I was a kid. I'll try and remember the names of the plants that I used to know. And I started looking, and I started to see these little red berry things that were around the trails that I was walking on. And eventually I realized that they were called rose hips. So I did some research on them, and what I learned when I was looking online about it is that they're actually really high in vitamin C. They can boost your immune system, and they can kind of help heal you. So at that point, I sort of switched in again to this interest in plants and into going out into nature and just seeing and realizing that just by looking for good and seeking the beauty that exists, even when I didn't see it initially, that I could kind of heal myself, even in the way that the rose hips were healing my body. I want people to experience connection or be reminded of connection with each other and with nature and with God. I think that even just a gesture of goodness makes a really big difference in anyone's life. And so if I could just be a gesture of goodness that genuinely helps people, even if just for a minute, then that's great. Then I've done what I want to do.